Hey, Richie, how's the offseason been for you so far?
It's been real smooth, man. It's been, a whole lot of change, but it's been a really fun offseason for me.
What are some of the things you all been trying to work on back on the back end of defense?
First of all, chemistry, like always, every year. We got a new staff. We got a couple new guys in. They got a new scheme, so the chemistry number one, and then just repetition after that.
You talked about some of the change that you had to go through. You talked about going from Daniel Pease to Nielsen now to Jimmy Lake. Like, what is that transition been like for you? Because this is your first few years of your career.
Right.
You pretty much had to learn new defense every year.
Right.
So
I mean,
how's that work?
It's work, but at the end of the day, it's fun, man. You get to be in three different schemes, like three. They not too much. They ain't got too many similarities, but they do have some carryover. So it's three different schemes. It just make you smart as a player. Like I said, you got new players in here, new staff, new energy, new vibe. So all that together, it just make it fun, bro. You just got to have that type of attitude.
So what's some of the things that you learned from Coach Lake so far? I know Gray is
yeah.
constant, right? So
just finding a way to use that aggressiveness for the good. You know what I mean? So.
Rob talked a lot about how the secondary is kind of driving the bus and finding their why and clicking at this point in the offseason. Yeah. What have you seen from the meeting rooms at this point compared to maybe other seasons? I'm
gonna say we just getting a little bit more older each year, like in terms of just guys in the room, a little more experience. Like even our young guy, like Marco had a lot of reps last year at the end of the year, so even our young guys got a lot of experience. But all that just helps the pot, man. We all feeding off each other like always. The chemistry been building each day, so it's gonna be a good year.
With all that talent back there, is it competitive? Is the job's competitive?
Hell yeah.
Nothing set.
Hell yeah. Ain't nothing set in stone, man. Every day we coming out here competing. We all know that, but at the same time, it's a good environment. You know what I mean? It's for everybody to thrive.
Your new quarterbacks and how that's going. Just tell us what it's been like so far.
Just gradual relationship. Just keep growing each day, and we had a week off, but we're back and stayed in touch, and now we just finished this last little bit of OTAs out.
You talked a lot about the veteran leadership of Kirk Cousins and kind of what he brings to the table. What have you noticed when it comes to his leadership style?
Just how he commands the room and gets everybody's attention, and that's just what you're doing.
Coach said he's interjecting his personality a little bit in the play calling. Have you heard that?
I don't know. I'm just listening to what I got to do.
Some of the passes that Kirk makes, the accuracy and precision on them, what have you been impressed with most?
That, the accuracy, his timing, just him being a vet, and the way his is coming off in the game, and just how different older people operate.
What's like as a guy so far?
He's just how everybody else sees. He's just funny, goofy, informative, and he has a lot of funny quotes that y'all should ask him about.
Yeah, you want to hit us with one of those?
He got to tell you.
Morris said that he kind of injects his personalities into the play calls a little bit. Even has some jokes. Like, what have you noticed just about his personality?
Like how she just said, I haven't really seen it. Maybe I'm missing something there too. So it's just working.
How would you describe Kirk's personality?
He can joke when he wants to, but he's serious when he needs to.
Drake said he's a dad.
Okay, that's another one. Yeah, super dad.
Super dad.
Super dad. What are your just thoughts of the big screen that they had, that playback screen? Like Ricky was telling us about it and how he got it from LA and how kind of hoops. Do you find yourself really liking it? Do you look at it a lot in practice? How has it been?
Yes, different. I didn't even notice it the first couple of days what it really was until I started looking at it. Maybe it's an error or somewhere on the offense. You can go back and look at it, or for the good things too.
So is that kind of nice that you have it immediately than having to wait to go watch it on film when you get back?
Definitely. It's better for instant feedback.
How would you describe teaching style? What have you learned from him?
Just adaptive. He's trying to find out, how everyone learns. So he talks to everyone different. So, for him to teach me, let's go walk it, or somebody else like Wandell or Darnell, let's go watch the video. Everybody's different.
So that's what works for you?
Yeah, I can't just sit here. I gotta walk it.
Have you seen interaction between Kirk and Penix at all?
Excuse me?
Have you seen Penix and Kirk interact? Do you feel like Mike is learning from him?
The quarterbacks are in their own little pocket, but I've been hearing nothing great things.
Can I ask you about the Guardian Cups? What do you think of those?
I'm not a fan of them at all.
Why is that?
because it cuts off the holes in the helmet and the circulation, so it's hot. So yeah, there's a lot of heat trapping.
So just, you know, starters, how's the off-season training's going? Obviously you were with Raw and now he's back.
Yeah.
How's that dynamic work?
No, it's been good. You know, same little chemistry we left off with. Happy to be back with him and, you know, see what the future holds.
Hey, Jay, talk about the secondary, just where your position is back there. You guys have really built up quite a group back there and just some experience. Just, you know, taking a step forward this year. Do you feel like that's the next step?
Definitely. You know, we got a lot of the guys back from last year, and I feel like we grew with the talent that we got. And we got myself and Jesse and others who grew in the spotlight and was able to pass off knowledge to the guys to play faster out on the field and have confidence in themselves.
Do you feel like, or just asking, not to be personal, did you guys get together in the offseason kind of like some of the other position players do?
Definitely. We tried to during OTAs. You know, we got a couple trainers out here we go to, and we all got together at least for a session. You know, just guys taking time out of their day to come get some extra work outside of the work we put in here. So, yeah, we got together a few times.
Was there any discussion about what happened last year and what we need to work on? I mean, were there any just kind of some cold, hard conversations?
Nah, you know, right now it's just, for me, like I always are going to every offseason just attacking the whole position. Not really just focusing in on one thing, but everything can get touched up on. That's what you use the offseason for, to maximize everything and work on everything so you can be better out on the field.
Have you ever had one of those video boards out there at practice at any of your level of playing football?
Negative. Never had one of those. It's definitely an eye-opener for me when I went out there. Is like, as soon as we do a play now, we got a whole replay. You can go back and, you know, see it right away, see what you did wrong. So that's a big addition.
Is it better than having to go down and sit and watch film? I'm sure you still do it, but it's an immediate eye that, hey, I can look back and see. I
mean, it's like I said, I mean, we out on the field, right? So after you finish a play, you're not looking right at it because, you know, we still out there. We got to move on to the next play. But if you on the sideline or whatever, you get to see what happened. You can look right there and see what whoever did wrong, and make sure you correct it when you go back out there.
You make a good play. Do you look over here?
Nah. Nah. Yeah, I'm locked in. I don't look back. I don't look back.
Specifically with you and Jesse, what has that leadership dynamic been like with another season together?
It's good. That's the beauty of it, you know, being able to build the chemistry. And I think that's where we at right now. We just laying the foundation. We got a new defensive scheme, and you know, we can, you know, use our eyes and be able to play with instincts and make plays on the ball.
Yeah, you guys are now kind of stepping into this veteran role.
Yep.
What has that been like within the room?
Natural. I feel like just coming in. I always said, in order for me to, you know, to be a leader, whatever, you gotta hold yourself accountable, and that's what I stood on since day one when I first got here. So it's a natural transition, and as the years and time go on, it just magically just happens and falls in your lap. So that's where it's at right now.
How is the diversity of the talented quarterback with Penix and Cousins going to help you guys?
It's gonna be good, you know, just having both of the guys, and you know, just a good offensive, you know, side of the ball. You know, we added a lot of additions on the offensive side, and I know we went hard last year with adding on the defensive side. So just overall in general, I think that the team itself is moving in the right direction.
Specifically for the DBs, have you noticed, I mean, guys trying to adjust to each quarterback, or is it even about that right now?
No, right now it's always about us. It's about you just being able to just you know, hear the call, make calls pre-snap, and be able to play the down through and post-snap, getting the call, and just keep doing that. So half of the time I don't even know who at quarterback. You know, me being on the island, I'm more so worried about the look, the splits, who I'm guarding, and when I look on film, then I see who the quarterback is. But no, I'm not really pointing out who's at quarterback.
What have you seen from guys like Mike Hughes and Clark Phillips who've gotten reps opposite you?
Yeah, diversity. You know, they able to, you know, play nickel, play corner, play whatever the coaches ask, and compete at a high level doing it. So a lot of growth in both of them. And you know, I also look up the Mike and Clark. You could take that's also a beauty about having playing with a lot of DBs, being able to pick up on what they do, what their strengths are, and then also help them on their weaknesses.
There wasn't a secondary player drafted. What does that say about your room and the second cornerback position?
Yeah, it's confidence. I feel like the coaches and everybody, you know, they like what we got going on, and it's our job to just get the job done. You know, come out here and practice at a high level, and you know, and just compete, get an offensive look, and make plays.
First of all, I mean, just how are you feeling? Because you were dealing with an ankle injury for a little bit, so just how are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel great. You know, I know that I had to continue to like rehab it and just get comfortable being back to myself. But you know, it's good being back on the field with the guys, and you know, it's tough. You know, being in there while they're at practice, and you know, me trying to get it back. But you know, I feel good, and it just feels good. It's a blessing to be back.
From the season, or did it happen maybe after the season, or?
Yeah, it was kind of lingering from the season, but I was training on it like the whole time, and I was like going hard, and it was something that like I felt, but didn't like really feel like too bad. So when I got back to the trainers, and I was like the first 2 weeks of OTAs, I was in the workouts and everything like rolling, and then I was like, let me try to check this out, and so that's when we found that out, and then I was like, all right, well then let me just try to get back to 100%, and then that's what I did. So it's good to be back.
Was it like a sprain or like?
Yeah, like a light sprain, but it was just like kind of feeling like weird, like on the side. So I was just trying to like make sure I don't feel it at all before I come back, and that's what we all agreed on by the time I got back today.
Where are you now, like on a scale of 1 to 100, like 80%, 60%?
Well, like physically, like I'm great. I'm close to 100. But just trying to get my like breathing back. Obviously, it was good to do everything today, but just trying to get back to like that football shape is what I'm trying to get to right now.
What from the start of training camp, OTAs until now, what were your personal expectations and your goals going into OTAs?
Can you say that one more time?
So what were your personal expectations and goals going into OTAs?
Yeah, just leadership, really. Me still being a young guy, but understanding that, me just trying to be a great leader for these guys, and, new guys coming in, and, for what we did last year, it was good to have the leaders that we already do have with Jesse, Grady, obviously Kirk and Drake, Kyle, like everybody there. So it's for me, not being on the field, I was trying to be a good leader off the field and helping out the young guys and helping everybody get back to their form. So, now that I'm out there today and, continuing that leadership and, still just leading by example is what I liked about today.
What have your first impressions of Kirk Cousins been?
Yeah, obviously he's been in the league for a long time. So, he already established everything that he's done. But I think here, obviously he brings that leadership. But, the cool thing with him is like having a quarterback that studies so much. And I saw his like little like play sheet that he has and his spot sheet and like him throwing into different spots, and he throws them into those kind of spots in practice. I'm like, that's kind of crazy. So just having a guy that obviously can sling the ball, but is really particular on what he does and the little details, and even when me and him just work, how he wants me to run certain routes and how he wants me to get open is always great information. So like having a guy like that who's already in my opinion, a top 10 quarterback, but having a guy to go out there and really show it, it's been fun to have him.
What have you taken away from those conversations when he pulls you aside and you guys are going over certain things that he wants you to do?
Yeah, the thing I like about him is like, he's not trying to take away the gifts that God given us players. Like, it's little snippets here and there, and he's like, just do what you do, but we can do it like this or try doing it like this and seeing how it goes, and having him tell me those kind of things, like I don't think I've really had somebody like really like sit down and tell me what to do and how to do it, because I'm already like trying to outsmart everybody, but really listening to him and really just taking all the information and feedback that he has for me, I take that serious, and I really appreciate him for that.
I can tell that you're really excited just talking about working with a guy like Kirk Cousins. When did you start to feel that excitement, like, hey, he's here, he can make me better, and we can work well together?
Yeah, it was the first couple weeks of OTAs, when I was still on the field, and we weren't in team stuff yet, but it was like us going out as an offense, doing all the plays and, going full speed reps. Like when I saw him, get me the ball in different ways, I was like, man, this dude he's legit. So I think obviously he's doing it now, but I knew back when we were, when I was still out there running with offense and getting everything comfortable.
Bijan, so much is made about quarterback development and chemistry with his wide receivers. You're used in so many different ways. How do you go about, collaborating and developing that chemistry when you're threat out of the backfield in the ground game? How does that work with Kirk?
Yeah, it's the same thing. So having the chemistry with the receivers, and like what I said, like me and him having chemistry, because what Zach does with me is similar to last year. So, and it's good to have somebody like him who can dish it to everybody. But we had to build that chemistry. Obviously, I couldn't do it for the past like 3 or 4 weeks. But now that we're out there and now that he's getting me the ball in certain spots, I think it's going to be fun to watch. And even just all the other guys out there that can get open and that has that kind of access, it just opens it up for me, for myself, for all the running backs, and just for them as well.
I know last year was so much of a learning stage for you, but this year, now that you've had a year in working with Kirk, have you gone to Zach or Kirk and said, hey, let's try this, or collaborate on any, how much have you done with that?
Yes,
if you want to share, please do.
I've done it a lot. Me and Zach talk every day just about these kind of routes, and how we can get open on some different things, or how we can use the scheme to just affect a linebacker, DB, a safety. But we talk every day, man, and it's good to have communication like that. Obviously, because last year, I was trying to learn everything and get everything down for what the offense was already. But this year, with the new offense and how to install with that, and how I can ask questions now, and how we can come to agreements, it's been really fun to be a part of that.
You do feel comfortable going to them and saying, hey, let's try this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Kyle just called Kirk super dad. How does that dad energy feel?
No, it's really crazy though. Like me and Kirk, we're right next to each other in the locker room. So I'll say a story. Like one time I was like, bro, we were saying something that, he's done in back in the day, how I say it. And I was like, bro, I was born in 2002, and he was like, bro, I was in 8th, 7th grade. I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, you're, I think Kirk is old enough to be my dad, real talk. But I love that dude, man. We always joke around with him. I always joke with him, and he takes it, so good and so easy. So, that's the fun of it. When you have a guy that's right next to you that can have fun and take all the jokes and still be focused on the field. It's always good to have somebody like that.
He's been injecting his personality into the play calling. What have you seen as far as that with Kirk?
Yeah, same. With Kirk, when he calls a play, it's so clear, and you can hear everything that he's saying in the play. But I think the good thing with him is if he does make a mistake, he owns up to that mistake, and he'll call everybody back, and we'll readjust and reconvene, and then we'll just go out there and just execute the play again. So he's that particular in what he does and how he calls plays, how he throws the ball, how he tries to angle everything, even how he hands off the ball. He'll always ask me was that good? Was it good enough? So having a guy that's like that is the difference maker for what we got.
Is the run game in this scheme going to be noticeably different? The Falcons were one of the highest usage, I think, of the wide zone last year. Do you still expect to be running that a lot, or are there differences? How would you kind of describe this scheme?
Yeah. Still run the wide zone, but there's so many other run schemes that we have now that I love and that I ran in college, and that I can't wait to run. We're good on getting him off the wide zone and then going to something else and going back to it. I think there's so much that we can do with that, and that we are doing with that, and that's what makes your run game so elite, when you have a lot of different things that you can do and a lot of different options with the run game. And that's what we're doing.
And last year we talked so much about you talked about how much they wanted to use you in all these different ways. Have you had conversations about paring that back at all and just kind of using you more as a runner, or are you still expected to do a lot of the things that was kind of put on your plate last year?
Yeah, so I'm going to be more of a runner. That does everything else, not as much. I don't know what the plan is, but it's run nerve first, like I did in college, and then still having that access to go to receivers, still having the access to do creative things out the backfield. More so how they use Christian down there in San Francisco, something like that. So that's kind of what the plan is here.
Yeah, Bijan. How just how's your off season been, and how was it like getting back out there today after the, I guess it was ankle, right?
Yeah. You know, it's been good. Obviously, like I haven't been out there with the guys, so it was kind of sometimes it was kind of frustrating. But you know, for me, I just know that everything's in God's plan, and you know, God has a plan for me to do everything. So now me being back out there with the guys and you know feeling really good. You know, it was a great feeling, and you know I didn't really hold nothing back either, so I was just full go and felt great. And so you know it's good to get out there and you know be with the teammates again and have fun out there. But yeah, these past 4 weeks it's been a process, but now to be back with the team, especially for this last week, it feels really good.
Go ahead. I was just going to ask how the off-season's been treating you so far.
It's been good. You know, just stacking it, just building the foundation and stuff, so it's been solid. Getting back at it, it's been good.
Year two, I mean, is there anything you kind of where you're at, you know what to expect now?
For sure, know what to expect and then how to go about my business. Just keep working, keep grinding, do what I can.
I think it's the year 3, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. Year
3. My bad.
Or finish year 2 and go into year 3. Yeah.
Right.
Same old, I guess.
What do you see kind of in that quarterback huddle now? I mean, we're hearing a lot of confidence, just a lot of control in there. What are you seeing when the plays are called in and those plays are being read off? What is it a different huddle right now?
No, for sure, hands down. I think just like you said, just the confidence, just know what he's doing and all that. Just boom, give the huddle, boom, then execute it. So it's been good.
You hear so much about playmakers, but what can this new offense do for the running game?
You know, it could just balance it out. Obviously, we can run the ball, but then having that pass effect, just keep defense on their toes is really the name of the game.
So much was made last year about you and Bijan coming in, and it just balanced itself out. Are you glad that's over now and you guys can just play this year?
Shoot, we're excited for every opportunity that we get to go on the field, so it's good.
Somebody said that Kirk tells jokes in between those plays. Have you ever heard him kind of crack a joke? Or
you gotta really pay attention to it.
Okay. You're the first one that said it. So is it subtle?
It's very subtle, dry humor.
Did you give it a example?
I wouldn't say dry. It's you gotta know his what's the word?
His personality.
Personality.
It's like a niche type of style.
What's the word?
Persona.
Maybe. That's it. Yeah.
The lore around Kirk Cousins.
You gotta know Kirk to.
The Kirk lore.
Yeah. The Kirk lore. That's it. Might be a meme right there.
So there's been a lot of talk about that fancy little replay board back there. What are your thoughts on that new addition?
Fire. I love that. I love it because I like whenever. What are your guys' thoughts about it?
I like it.
I like it.
Okay, yeah. Good answer.
Your teammates didn't, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no one seems
Who said it?
super intrigued by it.
It's been kind of like
They're
when we're in the
playing it
middle
cool.
of practice, we can't really look at it. So.
Oh shoot, I've been looking at it all the time. Yeah, I'm like, cause like whenever someone makes a read or like what I could have done better, I'm just like, take a peek. Okay, so like it's kind of like viewing what I could have done and then affecting it on the field. So sure, I'm a fan of it.
I was about to say, so you'll see it kind of benefiting the team as a whole, whether they admit it or not.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Pitts was talking about he's not a fan at all of the Guardian caps. Where do you lie on that?
Who said that? Pitts?
Pitts.
Oh, Pitt, Kyle. Shoot, it's like an extra 5 pounds on your head, so it's whatever. I mean, I see the benefits. Like it will protect guys in the long run, but so it's just extra weight that you feel. So I mean, I don't really feel it going on, so it's cool.
Schematically, what's new with Zach's offense?
Yeah, actually just a lot of motions, a lot of reads, a lot of really everything. It's a good fit for us, I believe. So it should be good.
How's your relationship developed with Michael Petrie, and what are you looking to learn from him this season?
Yeah, shoot, going on to year 3. So I've been with him for a while, ever since my rookie year. So it's been good. I think really just learning, just still continuing to be a sponge, because like not trying to know everything, but still continuing to be a sponge, learning what I can do better, what he thinks I can do better, and then what I am doing good at, but how can I perfect that? Because I'm always trying to strive for perfection, but no one's ever going to be perfect, but always just striving for perfection is kind of the key with everything I do.
And how, like, just relationship building wise, has it progressed at this point?
Dude, it's been good. Yeah, it's been good. I would think.
Like
yeah.
How do you feel like you've gotten to know him even more at this point, or like just the dynamic between a position coach and a running back?
Yeah, sure. I think not just with me, but it's just like a family aspect, especially in the running back room. I think we can all crack jokes with each other. We can all have fun. We all know each other's families and all that good stuff. So I think just having that is very important because we know what we're fighting for. Obviously, we're fighting for the team as well, but fighting for your brothers in the room that you grind for and stuff and compete with. It's good.
A lot of people have been talking about bringing Penix into the quarterback room, but what about welcoming Jace into the running back room for you guys?
It's been good. It's been good. You know, but roll tide. It's a roll tide guy, man. So no, it's been good having him in the room, just being able to see him just work. So it's been solid.
This new offense asking anything different of you than what you've been asked for before in the NFL?
Say that again?
Is this new offense with Cam asking anything different of you than what you've seen do so far with the Falcons?
So just continuing to boost my game, just to be a threat in the pass game. So I think that's a pretty big one for me. Just continuing to grow in that aspect, doing whether it's catching ball, routes, just protection as well, and then obviously running the ball. So it's just really just the full go.
How's the offseason been treating you?
Great. I live 5 minutes away from here, so this is home. I spent a lot of time with family. Took a lot of golf trips, so.
Where do you like to golf?
Anywhere. Okay, cool or something. I'll go anywhere.
What's the dynamic been so far in the quarterback room?
Yeah, obviously we were all kind of shocked about the pick, but being in this league for 10 years, you've kind of seen it all. So, we were shocked for a day or two, but it is what it is. And Mike's been great in the room. Kirk's been great. So it's a really fun room. I'm learning a lot from Kirk. I'm sure Mike is too. I'm just trying to contribute any way I can.
What have you learned from Kirk?
A lot. He's probably one of the most professional quarterbacks I've worked with. Just how he approaches everything, how he communicates, how he talks to guys. It's really impressive to see. I've learned a lot in just a month and a half I've been with him. So again, hopefully I'm here this year and get to learn a lot more from him. But he's a real pleasure to be around.
Does your role change a lot at all? Any with him and Michael? It seems like last year it was just you and Desmond, and now it's kind of a little bit more crowded room and another. I don't know the gentleman. I've lost track of time, but there's 4 of y'all back there now. What does that mean now for this room?
I would assume so. But again, for me right now, I just control what I can control, and that is, coming in, trying to be a good teammate, trying to help Kirk or Mike or John any way I can, and see what happens. But again, this is my first rodeo, kind of having this deal. So again, I just try to come in here, be the best person, best teammate I can, and I feel like everything else will take care of itself.
How different will the offense be this year? I mean, will it be noticeably different? The same?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit different from what we've seen last year. Obviously, these guys came from LA, and you've seen Stafford kind of throw it around a good bit, lots of motion stuff. So it's a really fun offense to be in as a quarterback. So I'm excited for the season.
When that video board's up there, what do you think of that? I mean, obviously you guys probably, a lot of you haven't had those, but do you catch yourself looking?
It's hard to during practice. I'm sure during the year when we're actually game planning and seeing stuff, we'll use it a lot more. But right now, again, we're still trying to learn the offense and go from there. So really, when we're not actually in getting the reps, we're talking to each other about stuff.
With you returning and Kirk and Mike just being new here, is there any way you're helping them?
Yeah, I mean, when Kirk first got here, he was kind of asking where to live, stuff like that. And again, I'm from 20 minutes down the road, so I kind of give him some stuff there, whether he's listening or not. But whether restaurants, places not to go, places to go. But when it comes to football, Kirk's seen it all. So I'm really learning from him at this point.
And with Michael, have you taken a role in kind of bringing him along or talking to him?
Yeah, we have some meeting time together, but again, they kind of split us vets and rookies up right now a little bit, so I haven't had a lot of time to work with him. But when we're on the field and he's see him struggling or anything, I'm definitely willing to help him in any way I can. Again, got the guy in the first round. He looks really promising. Can throw the crap out the ball. So the more he just develops and gets ready, I think he's a good player.
Tyler, do you think some of the playmakers can kind of show off their skill a little more with this offense?
Yeah, and that's not a knock on Art at all. I love Art, but this offense is a little bit more spread out. A bunch of different type of concepts where anyone can get the ball. So again, I don't want to. That's not me saying anything bad about Art, but it's just a different offense. Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
With Raheem Morris in terms of how he will instill culture or how he will run this program?
Yeah, I got some experience with him. He was here for a while. Obviously, he was our interim head coach for a little bit. He's got great energy. That's the first thing you notice. He's a guy that he's trying to, the way he described it in the team meeting today, is breathe life into the team and be our greatest motivator, a guy that obviously holds people accountable, but at the same time is building us up. And when you have that, it allows you to play a little freer and a little more fun. And he's also a character on the field, so he'll get you laughing and keeps things interesting. Yeah, and the last question for me is about Kirk Cousins. Kind of the same thing. What are your early impressions of how he will operate as the quarterback? Highly confident in what I've seen so far. Just a guy who's on top of it. Even from the first, I think our second day of OTAs, he basically had a meeting with the whole offense, just going over cadence. As simple as that might sound, we were going over cadence for 20 minutes, and his detail with it and what he's thinking and his mindset behind it was impressive. And you can just tell he's a guy that's asked every question and is expecting everything, and he's on top of it. And that in itself, like I said before, can breed a lot of confidence because, hey, I trust this guy, he's going to know what to do, and he expects the same from us, so that's on us to give to him.
Jake, speaking of Kirk and keeping things light, Raheem said that he likes to tell jokes when calling plays. Have you experienced this?
I personally haven't heard too many, but okay. I'm excited to hear a few. No, he maybe he's holding out on us and only doing it during 7-on-7 because the O-line, I don't think we've heard many jokes. But no, he is between drills and stuff. He's been pretty funny. He's a funny guy, man. But I can't say enough how impressed I've been with him. Just the way he's come in here, and just from day one, it just clicked. Just immediately felt comfortable with the guy, and knew he was the one for us.
What feels different about having Kirk around?
Obviously, I've played Matt Ryan and guys like that, and I've played with really good quarterbacks. And with him, I just feel like there's something about the way he is in meetings and the way he's on top of the notes and everything. I think everyone kind of got a picture of it in that Netflix documentary he did. It's all very much true. So, yeah, he's one of the more prepared guys I've ever seen.
You mentioned those cadence meetings. What does that look like exactly? What are you going over?
So obviously there's a bunch of different variables. You got audible cadence, silent cadence if you're on the road. Just different ways to mix it up because those guys on the other side of the ball are very big, very athletic, and very good at what they do. So being on offense, you got to take advantage of being able to jump the cadence, get that half-second jump on them. So just all the different things he's thinking about that, his timing, his the tone or inflection he's using when he's making different ones and what he's looking for, and just stuff like that.
How helpful has that been now learning his cadence on the field?
Yeah, and that is a pretty common thing when you get different quarterbacks, is everyone has a little bit of their own twist on it. They don't all sound exactly the same, and that's one of the first things I like learning from a quarterback, because I want to get off that ball as quick as possible. And yeah, I think we're all, something we actually mentioned today, that we're all feeling a lot more comfortable with the way he calls it, and I think we're in a good place.
Another new thing this year is the video screens. I guess Raheem said he brought that from LA. What do you think of those?
That was a first for me as well. At first I thought it was going to be distracting. I'd be looking over there every play, but I don't think I've looked at it once. No, I usually like watching the film right afterwards, but I think it's more for the receivers and stuff. But hey, if it helps us get better, I'm all for it.
Okay, you mentioned the Netflix documentary. Have you guys gone up to him and said, hey, I watched it, you give him some feedback? How does that conversation go?
I have not. No, I have not.
Have you felt like, how has he tried to connect with you guys and really try to get to know you guys?
Good sense of humor, great movie quoter, stuff like that, I guess. And really, the first day really stood out because we're sitting as an O-line having breakfast, and he comes right up and joins us, introduces himself to a lot of guys, and it was really just right then, hey, I like this guy, he fits in real well, and he's just been real easy to get along with.